Let's talk about embracing progressive overload. And the reason that I think this is so important is particularly after the age of 50 and above. It is the key to our strength and the energy that we have in our body. How you doing today, Sel?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. So I think this is a big fitness secret, don't you, Sel?
I do.
It's something that we probably don't talk about enough. And it's probably something that when we're training or working out, that we don't think about why we're doing it and what's going to be the outcome for us. And I particularly think, and I'm going to come back to this quite a lot, and I do bang on it about it quite a lot as well too, is that we tend, when we ask women what are they working towards, it's like, I just want to be healthier and fitter.
The default answers.
Yeah, the default answers. So there's no real direction. So there's no real answer. So you don't know what it is. And of course, when it comes to progressive overload, you really got to know what you're working towards. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're not going to be moving forward in whatever it is that you want to achieve, because you actually haven't identified what it is that you want to achieve. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
And it's something that we sometimes see, like we do like monthly surveys with our clients and our PT clients in particular. And we often, ask them just a couple of questions about how they're feeling, what they're noticing. And quite often we can get ladies coming back and saying nothing. Thank goodness for those that are actually noticing things. And we know that these are women who are training as opposed to working out. So it's not about that moderate intensity. It's about that higher intensity and that focused approach. But I think we probably need to talk about what progressive overload is. And it is just simply the gradual increase of weight, frequency, or repetitions. And there's lots of other ways to actually progressively overload. And I think it's important to identify where you are right now so that you know when you do take those steps forward as well too.
Yes.
Is there anything else you want to add about what progressive overload is?
No,
No?
covering it.
Covered it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Here's why we should care about it, in my opinion. Stronger bones. Because as we age, our bone density is naturally decreasing, and progressive overload within strength training is going to help combat osteoporosis. We also have that natural decline of muscle mass as well too. So, and muscle is so important, and I'm not going to bang on about why muscle is so important today, but it's metabolically active, it helps hormone regulation, immune system boosting, the list goes on and on and on. So muscles are so important, and there's no wrong time to start. The earlier you start building your muscles, the better off you are. But you can still be in your 70s or 80s and still start doing some level of strength training. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's going to give you better balance and coordination. So that means you're going to reduce those risks of falls, which is very common as we age as well too. It's going to help you increase your energy levels, and it's going to make you feel just happier.
Yes.
Yep. Any other reason that you want to add in there why we should care about it?
Because it's going to help with your brain.
Oh.
And when we explain what it actually is, you'll understand what we're talking about. It's going to be that, thinking and the connection.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to delve into that? Do you want to explain what it is?
Yeah. So progressive
for it.
overload is, we're going to talk in strength training because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But, progressive overload can be used in anything. Running, for example, with running, if you start off running 30 minutes for 4 weeks, at that 5th week, you'll start running for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
For 4 weeks. So that's running. But with strength training, it's about building strength through your weights, dumbbells, barbells, that sort of thing. So as you said at the beginning, you need to find out where you are. So maybe you can lift 3 kilos.
Yeah.
Maybe you can lift 4, maybe you can lift 5. That's where you're going to start out with. At that 5-week mark, doing those 5 kilo reps should be easy peasy. So that's when you're going, okay, you know what? I need to now make this another little bit of a struggle to lift. And this is how we build up strength. And it's so important to understand that we don't just go, oh, I can lift 5 kilos now, yay, I'm done, because that's not the end of it. You've got to keep putting in those little goals.
You do. I was listening to Dr. Peter Attia the other day, and he was talking about grip strength. And for someone in our age category, we want to be able to carry 75% of our weight, around, carrying 2 dumbbells as an example, or 2 kettlebells or something like that. So that what that means is that when we get into our 90s, we can still lift our grocery bags.
Yeah. And this is what they were saying, because you will still, they said, up into the last 10 years of your life, so whatever age that may be, as you said, you are still going to be able to lift heavy stuff.
Yes. If
you do those farmers walks at that 75% of your body weight.
Yeah.
And I think for men, it's 100% of your body weight.
100%, it is, absolutely. Yeah. You are 100% right. It is 100% for men.
And I have Shane, my Parkinson's client. I've started doing it with him.
Yeah.
He's got 10 kilos. I think he weighs 79 kilos. But we've started off with 10 kilos in each hand.
Yes.
And he does those farmers walks for 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and we should add that that's for 1 minute. I don't think we mentioned the time.
No, not 10 minutes.
Yeah. Because my mum often said, or like even yesterday when I dropped mum at home and, I was carrying the groceries in, and she said, I'll help you. I'll put one of the bags on my wheelie walker. And I've gone, no, it's okay. I can carry it. And she said, isn't that too much? And I've gone, no. I said, if I want to be able to carry this, so I will pick it up her grocery bags. I had 2 or 3 in both hands. It's heavy, but I will do it on purpose. And I do it with my own groceries as well too, because, there's always those opportunities to train a little bit more in life.
Yeah. And, grip strength isn't just about carrying the groceries. And I remember you telling me this about 6 months ago, because it was to do with getting a license, and it was 12 kilos, wasn't it? Grip strength to turn a steering wheel.
Yeah, in Queensland. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I said, so every doctor should have one of those little gadgets that take your grip strength when someone is arguing, no, I'm okay to drive. It's like, well, if you can't control that steering wheel, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think how you apply this progressive overload is, firstly, you've got to start where you're at. And you've already said that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you might be picking up, as you said, maybe 3 kilo weights or 5 kilo weights. But here's the thing about what you're going to pick up to start with as well too. I'm going to ask you, how heavy is your bag? That bag that you're putting on your shoulders or crossbody or whatever it is, how heavy is that? Because you should not be picking up a dumbbell that weighs less than that.
Yep.
And so then, you might start with 12 to 15 reps. So you already mentioned that you might go up in the weight. So you might go from a 5 kilo to a 6 kilo weight or a 7 kilo weight. But you can also increase the repetitions.
Yeah.
You can also do holds as an example.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's lots of different ways to get more bang for your buck when it comes to progressive overload. I think the next part of it, Sal, is to gradually increase. So as we said, we like to look at that 4-week, 5-week mark. It might take a little longer, but also just assessing yourself every week or two, I think is really important, and staying connected during that workout, that mind to muscle connection, so that you're not swinging your arms around, you're not compromising your technique or your range of motion. So there are two other things to be aware of when it comes to progressive overload as well too.
Yeah.
Listening to your body, because it's not a race at all. And that's one of the things that has been the biggest change for me, is that I automatically am on 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But when I come to my workout, it's just slow and it's steady, and I'm thinking about how am I moving.
It's slow, steady, and deliberate.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm noticing, whether I've got a little twist in my body, whether I'm standing tall, whether I'm hunching. So I'm noticing the muscle as well too. So it's like, which muscle should I feel it in? So, and that does take time. And so it isn't about doing it quickly.
No.
There are points when you should do it quickly, for sure.
Yeah. I was going to say left, right. What's the word? Comparing left, right.
Yeah, absolutely. So that unilateral training that we do a lot of as well too, which you've just run sessions like that this morning. And so you did it from an elevation as well as the unilateral work as well. So, there was a lot going on. So it was really important that we slowed it down.
And as I said, connecting with your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the brain comes into it.
Yeah, exactly. I think the other aspect, Sal, is that it's important to mix it up. So, there's lots of different ways to work a tricep as an example. And it's a tricep for a reason, because there's tri meaning 3. There's 3 components, exactly. Your deltoid, you want to hit different parts of it, then you're going to do different types of exercises. Glutes, it's made up of three different types of muscles. So, so you want to hit them all in different ways. So it's not just all about doing the squat. We've got to do other types of exercises, or we've got to do them in different ways to be able to progress. Yeah. I think the 5th point that I've written down here, Sal, is that rest and recovery is so important, particularly if you are training and you've worked out hard and you feel spent at the end of it. Then you want to give your body the time to recover before you go and do it all over again. But that doesn't mean that you don't go and work out. You do some form of active recovery. It might mean that you still lift weights, but you might do little tiny weights. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to how you apply progressive overload?
I think it's very important to go in when you are going in or when you are starting out. And as you said, you need to start where you're at. So, what can you lift? But don't go in there at 4 weeks and go, oh, okay, I've lifted 5 kilos. I'm going to try for 10 kilos. great rule of thumb is don't progress any more than 10%.
Yeah.
In those periods. So be very conscious of what you are going up when you are doing that check in every 4 to 6 weeks.
And look, there will be a point where you get to a certain weight, for example, and you may not be going any further. But that's when all the different protocols for progressive overload will come into play, so that you are still progressing, you are still moving forward, and you're still seeing results.
Yeah.
I've already mentioned one real life application, which was carrying groceries.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned one as well too, carrying the mulch around.
Yeah. The potting mix. Yeah.
The potting mix. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
because they're generally 20-kilo bags, aren't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Or in my case, horse feed.
Yeah.
Bales of hay.
Bales of hay. Grandchildren.
Oh, grandchildren, yes, they're a good way as well too. So, housework even.
Yeah.
You can turn your housework into a mini routine as well too. You know, we now it's all about finding the lightest vacuum cleaner, isn't it? And we all want to have the stick vacuum cleaner as opposed to the one we're going to drag around the house. And it's interesting. Yeah. I have a stick vacuum cleaner, but I went out and I bought the old, the barrel vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
And I drag it around because it vacuums better.
Yeah. I don't think I'd get a stick one. I like my barrel one.
Yeah. And there's a bit of a workout happening at the same time as well too. Look, there's lots of different things in life where you can add a workout into that routine that you're actually doing as well too.
Yeah.
Stella, is there anything you want to add about progressive overload that you think we missed today?
If it's something that has piqued your interest, something that you've not done before, I think it's important to either, there's apps out there that will give you those training programs for progressive overload, or, hire a PT.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, just even how you hold a dumbbell and the movement. It's important to learn how to do it correctly to start with, because the last thing you want to do is start and then get injured, because then it's like, well, this is too hard and you're not going to go back to it, as opposed to if you start well and you get set up well, then you're going to enjoy it more.
Yeah. Perfect example is V at the moment. She's having a little bit of pulling here because she has progressed up to 8 kilos in her weights. She's having a bit of pull here. I suggested those wrist straps that you can tie round your weights, and she finally got them and she used them this morning, and she said the relief through her forearm has been amazing.
That's
because
great
it's
news,
that little bit of a support for her. But these are things that your trainer or your PT will be able to help you with.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really good to hire a PT.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I want to just finish up with a word of caution. Before you start any type of exercise program, especially if you've got some level of health concerns or you've got some injury that you're coming back from, you really want to consult your doctor or your allied health professional, whoever you've been working with, before you go into that routine, and then make sure you get the guidance and support that you need to ensure that you're on the right track.
Yes.
Yeah. And we would very much love that you embraced progressive overload because we love it, and I'm sure that your body will love it as well too, as will your health and your energy and your strength. And it means that you're going to be able to do all the things in life that you love and enjoy, as well as all the boring stuff like the grocery shopping. Thanks for joining me today, Sal.
Thank you for having me, as
You're very
always.
welcome. We hope that you got something out of it today, ladies, and please let us know whether you are keen to get some progression in your routine and that you are focused on it. And if you want to ask any questions, just message Sal or I and we can answer them for you.
Sounds good.
See you all. Bye, Sal.
Bye, Peter.
Bye.